Men have read it. What makes your interest level in a woman go from 100 to 0 the fastest? The daughter of my sister's close friend is incredibly gorgeous, and has admitted to my sister about having a crush on me. I never really talked to her or showed interest in her because to me she was always the daughter of my sister's friend before I saw her as a love interest. Now because of her good looks she always got attention from literally every guy and girl that has a pumping heart. She was the type of girl who liked that attention. That crave for attention coupled with teenage angst and the typical fights that mothers have with their teenage daughters led to her being rebellious towards her parents and consistently did the exact opposite of everything they told/asked her to do. This led to going to parties while in high school and after, underage drinking, doing drugs, weed definitely, unsure about anything harder, and dating guys who couldn't give about her well-being. All of this led to her parents pulling her out of public high school and homeschooling her. Fast forward to 2 years ago at my sister's wedding. She shows up and her, one of my sister's bridesmaids and myself immediately start drinking and taking shots. In between drinks we got caught up on each other's lives and the bridesmaid asks her about her life and what she does. Which involved a lot of partying, her girlfriend who is a DJ, visiting strip clubs and more partying. Then the bridesmaid asked her something along the lines of how she got like that and she says yeah, it's my mom's fault for homeschooling me. When she said that all interest I had of her immediately dropped. I can understand and tolerate to an extent somebody who lives their life like she does. I cannot tolerate someone who blames the choices and actions they make in their life on their parent. And moreover, I cannot tolerate someone who does not take responsibility for their own actions. Her mother is a total sweetheart and one of the most caring and loving people I know. She did not deserve what her daughter put her through. A few things. Playing hard to get is a big one. There is a difference between being coy or shy and just being annoying. The way she treats others. I walked out on one date after seeing the way she treated her kid and ended more than a few after seeing them treat waitstaff poorly or just being rude to others. Needing constant validation is another big one. I don't care for you begging for compliments constantly. If I didn't think you're beautiful, smart, wonderful, etc., I wouldn't be with you in the first place. Being dumb or playing dumb. If we can't have a decent conversation, or if you constantly have to ask me to explain simple things, then we just aren't compatible. I don't expect everyone to be a genius, but I do expect people to know that the sun is a star and the earth is round. The type that seems to be on her phone all the time while she's with you, and then when you actually text her, she never responds to your texts. Or responds with K or LOL or laughing face. I mean, I understand not having time or not having anything to say, but really. After that it's pretty clear she's not into you. She's also usually the type that will do this, and then when she comes to complain to you, you're instantly supposed to drop everything for her. I once was dating a girl, and while at the bus stop she suddenly said there's no attractive people around here right now. Super weird, but okay. I said well, you missed a really cute Latina girl walk by a few seconds ago, and she says you're just pointing out another hot girl you saw. You can't do that. It makes me feel insecure. Noped on out. Everyone has insecurities, but damn. The relationship I had before that, and now, we were constantly pointing out good-looking people to each other. Making fun of someone's appearance. You random woman, that man in my thrift shop's name is Peter, he was in a horrific car accident when he was younger and suffered a brain injury as well as some scarring. That's why he dresses a bit funny and looks kinda dumpy. But he comes in almost every day to buy photo frames to put pictures of his parent in who died in that car accident in. Don't judge a book by its cover. When she gives attitude to everyone, then justifies that she's only exhibiting bad behavior due to stressful circumstances she's under. No matter how crappy a person's circumstances are, I don't think it gives them the right to be in. Other reasons: being irresponsible, refusing to clean up her mess and refusing to let anyone else clean it. Being a woman child who can't take care of herself and throws tantrums in public. Thinking it's acceptable to cancel app. Attitude. I remember once I got this hot girl's number in college and took her out to dinner. She spent the entire time bitching about everything under the sun: parents, friends, the food, the restaurant. At one point I was tempted to sneak out, but I stuck it out, and it actually got worse. After it was all said and done, she tried to get me to take her out again, but I weaseled out of it. Not wanting to be equal in the relationship. This killed my last relationship. The standard she held herself to was clearly different than the standard she held me to. It was, "You should take me out to eat." Not, "Let's go out to eat." The way she treated me and talked to me was not how I was supposed to talk to her or treat her. Worse, she couldn't see why that was a problem. Got out quick. If she won't get off my about getting back into something I've cut out of my life entirely. These weren't decisions I made lightly. Half the time it felt like cutting off my own arm, even if the damned thing was gangrenous. I'm not sewing my metaphorical dead arm back on because I shouldn't have cut it off in the first place. I don't care if you don't like my life choices, but it's my life. Back off or get out. Manipulative qualities. Having been in a toxic relationship where she did exactly this, and was just a sociopath, I've gotten good at identifying potential abusive partners. Now landed on my feet after 7+ years dealing with depression, and a suicide attempt, and having to try and deal with her. Have a beautiful fiancé and going to uni. I don't look back at all. If she smokes, it's an instant turn off for me. My dad, mom, grandma, grandpa, and most of my aunts/uncles smoke, or smoked, and I can't stand anymore. A party girl is a turn off for me too. I don't drink anymore for several reasons, and I'm done dealing with that lifestyle from anybody. I don't care if you drink a bit, but I'm not going out to bars etc. and partying with you while you get faced 5 days a week. If they are extremely rude and disrespectful towards, or make fun of, fast food workers. I worked at McDonald's for 6 months between jobs, and the people I worked with are all some of the nicest people I've known. A lot of them were high school/college aged kids just trying to earn some spending money or pay rent at their apartment. Others literally had nowhere else to go but still came in with a smile. So whenever a woman, or anyone for that matter, starts talking fast food workers or just being bullies, I automatically lose all respect for them. Also, a word of advice: if the same restaurant consistently messes up your order, it's either A, you came at the busiest time of day with a large or complex order, B, you're very impatient and pushy, or C, you are always rude and bitchy. When she never graduated high school, has no real job, her dream is to open a strip club, and then she makes me look at photos of her getting spanked by various C-list celebrities and watch her cringy pole dancing videos on our first date at the bar. The absolute showstopper though was that her favorite house in Harry Potter was Hufflepuff. That's where I draw the line. Doesn't add anything to the conversation. If it takes immense effort to maintain a conversation with you, that's a turn off for me. It's not my responsibility to make a conversation happen, it's a team effort. Playing hard to get or acting uninterested. I'm 30, I don't have time to keep courting you to see if you come around. If you're not clearly into me on the first date, there won't be a second. Dated a girl for a month. She brings up that she went to a gang's clubhouse for a party. She was acting all excited like she was cool or something. I just looked at her like okay, deleted her number, and GTFO. No goals or ideas about what she wants to do in life. A lot of them are just banking on getting married and being a stay-at-home mom. No thanks, I'm trying to find someone to build the Second Prussian Empire with. Got MIT UNS Kameraden. Anything about horoscopes or other new age. It's insufferable to be subjected to that, and when a profile is full of it, you know the dialogue will be too. Had one try to get me to do crystal healing, another refused to talk to me because of my astrological sign. I don't even know what it is, it's terrible. Dated a girl who did that testing. Also did the passive-aggressive on FB, liking, so you'd see it, but always making sure to do it in public on FB so everyone knew she was aiming it at you. I'm glad I met her though, because anyone I meet who tries any of that nowadays, I'm out of there like a lightning bolt. She believes something that I consider stupid. An example was a first date with a woman, and at some point our conversation was about speeding tickets. She told me that you don't have to pay a ticket if the cop was hiding when he clocked you on radar. Because that's entrapment. He has to be in clear view for the ticket to be enforceable. I didn't know her well enough to call her a fool, so I just nodded like I was learning something. But I was mentally swiping left. Broke with expensive tastes. I've noticed mature people don't do the friend zone game. Don't expect me to buy you crap on the third date, even if we are dating. Don't complain about how you just don't want to work or no job is good enough. I went out with a girl, say 10 years older than me. She, not being interested, was very adamant about splitting everything. We both had a great time. Laddies, that's how you make actual friends. This is interesting because 100 to 0 is a huge step. That's going from someone who think you can spend the rest of your life with to someone you want out of your life. Obviously, if they kill babies or something that falls in the category, but let's make it more realistic. For me, let's start off at looks. If she has dark or colored hair, is petite, has tattoos, wears glasses, and is generally nice, she's already at an 8 or 9. To make a 10, she would have to have sarcastic humor, but still be empathetic to me when I'm telling her a problem of mine. It would also be great if she'd like to go to concerts one night and stay home and watch Netflix the next. That would most likely put her at a 10 for me. When you spend time with a 10, you became absolutely infatuated with her. She may do a couple bad/inappropriate things every now and then, but you put M aside, because her gorgeous looks, and the way she treats you completely makes up for it. Now you're crushing hardcore at her, and are on the verge of asking her out now that you've grown to like each other over the months, but she does one thing to totally make you despise you. I think that would have to be her not caring at all about your friends and family. That's a straightforward person who has her life together. Compare that to a girl I knew who told me straight up a friend paid her rent. If that wasn't enough, she clearly told me he offered her money for relations just a week prior. However you get your rent paid is between you and God, but don't let everyone know. Went on a Tinder date with a girl that definitely just tried to get a free meal. I noticed Mike Redheart pop up multiple times, could be an uncle or something, but I really doubt it. When the bill came and I said, "Oh, we'll be splitting it," the look she gave me was great. Except then she revealed she didn't even bring her purse. Good times, Megan. Edit, since this received a lot more attention than expected, I did pay for the meal. I think at the time I chalked it up to Mike being a recent ex that was wanting to get back together. I then promptly uninstalled the app, ended up meeting my current girlfriend of 2 years at a drop-in rec soccer game a few weeks later. Edit 2, thanks for all your replies, too many to reply to, but I read every one. The one time I said anything close to that was my husband was telling me that I needed to change my oil, and I told him that my dad refused to teach me anything related to a car. Told me that you'll either have a dad or a husband, you don't need to know that. This is why women get scammed at mechanics all the time. I heard my mom talking to the mechanic she goes to on speakerphone one day, and was amazed at the way they talked to her and BS'd her about stuff like saying that they had the air filter she needed, but they would have to do it the next morning because it was an hour-long job. She drives a pickup and changing the air filter takes literally a minute. There is a single clamp in the way. I used to take my car to the same people, and they never treated me like that because they knew I've worked on cars before. I have since stopped going to them, but my mom keeps going even though they scam her every time she goes. Same thing with computers. I forbade my mother to ever set foot in a Best Buy again because of the way they treated her. She didn't even realize anything was wrong, she thought they seemed nice. I had overheard they were telling her while I was wandering around looking for a new mouse, and it filled me with white-hot fury. That same sales rep had just talked to me a few minutes prior, and I knew for a fact that little twerp actually did know his, but he was just straight up lying to my mother in order to close a sale. I've heard from several other people since then that this is apparently a very common practice. They apparently just women are easy targets, so they try to scam the out of everyone with a vagina who walks through the door. Not trying to only pick on Best Buy here, even though they deserve to be singled out, because this type of rife all throughout the industry. It may not even be policy, the problem is systemic. I'm 32. I smoked from 15 until 29. It's incredible how quickly and drastically our society is turning against smoking with revulsion. I love it. It's been about 3 years since you quit. Mind if I ask some questions? If you took up exercise, how long after quitting did it take for you to stop being winded during short workouts? If you started running, how long before your lungs quit feeling like they were on fire after getting maybe half a block away? I think about quitting all the time, and need to start exercising, but I get easily defeated by thinking I'll never be able to do this stuff properly. It's hard to work out when you can't breathe. After 18 years of smoking at least a pack a day, I quit while reading The Easy Way to Quit Smoking by Alan Carr. The title sounds trite, but it worked. First thing to know, you're supposed to keep smoking while you read the book. You don't need to wait to read it until you are ready to quit. You just have to want to quit. Second thing to know, it isn't a program. You get a copy of the book and read it, and that is it. No further costs or commitments, and the book is $12 or so at your local bookstore. This past March marked 3 years since I quit. Never struggled with relapse, don't miss smoking now. When I see smokers huddled around doors smoking now, all I feel is relief that I broke free. As to exercise, within a few weeks I was sleeping better, and within a few months my body was feeling a lot better. I had always been overweight, but used some of the advice in the book to curb my poor diet and started losing weight. Then I found the Couch 2-5K program, and slowly learned how to run. The big surprise for me was that while my cardiovascular and lungs definitely needed work, the big benefit of slowly adopting exercise was that my knees, ankles, shins, etc. needed time to adapt and heal from the new stresses of running. I simply needed to slowly condition them to be able to do it. When I started, I could run till I wanted to puke and my legs hurt fiercely. It took 30 seconds. But by learning to slow down and learn proper jogging form, I got to what I could run 5K, 3.1 miles, without rest, albeit slowly, and actually enjoy running. My advice: get the book and start reading it. And get signed into fitness forums where experienced runners will give newbie runners advice, while you try a 25K program. My wife and I quit about a year and a half ago, cold turkey. We were 25/26, respectively, and had both smoked since we were 14. A piece of advice? Take things one at a time, beginning with smoking. The health benefits alone are worth stopping, and they will all come back in time. Take a few weeks to just focus on not smoking for each day and changing up your smoking habits. Do you smoke at a specific place at work? Avoid going there. Do you smoke after a meal? Take a walk outside instead. Make slight changes to your day that avoid your triggers, and those will slowly become your habits. After a month, start exercising. At this point, it just becomes a new habit in your month-long routine without smoking. Start slow, jog for 30 seconds on the treadmill, walk for 2 minutes, repeat for 30 minutes. Every few days, increase your jog time, or your incline, or how fast you jog or walk. Within another month, you should see a real difference in your endurance. From then on, get into weights or whatever else you wanted to do. After 12 months of consistency, I could run a 5K no problem without any burning or coughing in my lungs. The overall idea is to remain consistent. Consistently say no to yourself when you want to smoke in the first month. Consistently stay away from your triggers and create new habits. Consistently walk or jog in your second month. This schedule will be the basis of your workout habit in month 3 and beyond. Lastly, good luck and message me if you ever need someone to talk to about quitting. I'm a single mom, and I understand this entirely. You didn't create the child, and therefore it is in no way your responsibility to step up into a parent position. Many single moms think that a guy is rude or mean for not wanting to date them, but I'm cool with it. Unless someone genuinely wants children, then it's not fair to me or my child to expect them to take on my child as their own. Honestly, it goes both ways. I love my kid, but I really don't like other kids, so I won't date a guy that already has kids. I don't feel like I could love someone else's kids enough to justify being in their lives. I'm also just happy being a single mom, so I don't put too much pressure on myself to find my kid a dad like some single moms do.